Okay, so hi everybody. So in this episode, we are going to go over how to solve quadratic equations without a linear term. Now, quadratic equations without a linear term usually means that we have a quadratic term, we have a constant, but we don't have a linear term. Let's take the example x squared equals 25. Now, we can see that in this particular example, x squared is our quadratic term, right? While 25 is our constant term, but we do not have a linear term here. So, as for how to solve these types of questions, well, there is an interesting way to do it. So the most straightforward way that approach is to square root both sides. So square root x squared on this side and square root 25 on this side. But wait, we might have missed something. So the thing is, so plus a times plus a, okay? So a is some positive integer and plus a times plus a. So two positive a's multiplied together would get us a squared. However, negative a times negative a is also going to get us a squared because the two negative signs can cancel each other out here and we will be left with a squared once again. So 25, well, actually there is two possible numbers, one positive and one it's negative, that can reach 25 after being squared. And so in our case here of square root 25, what we can do to fix this issue is to add a plus minus right over here, representing that it can be both positive square root 25 and negative square root 25. Now, as we proceed, we square root our left hand side to get x, and the right hand side will hence be a plus minus 5. So therefore, we can say that x equals plus minus 5, or we can also write x1 equals 5 and x2 equals negative 5. Now let's take a look at another example here. Let's take the example x squared minus 144 equals 0. Now first of all, we can take a very similar approach to what we just did. First of all though, we need to shift the 144 to our right hand side, so we add 144 to both sides. And by doing that, these cancel out. We have x squared equals 144. Now next, what we can do here is to do the exact same thing as we just did. We square root both sides, but remember though, the right hand side can be positive, but it can also be negative as well, right? If we go back to see how right over here, we know that it's possible that a negative number times itself is always equal to a positive number times itself right over here in this general case. So if we once again go to our next example here, we know by the same logic that there will be a plus minus right over here. And of course, as we proceed, the left hand side becomes x, and the right hand side, square root 144 is 12, so x will equal plus minus 12. Or we can also write x1 equals 12 and x2 equals negative 12. And that is how we will solve our second example. Now, I hope that this episode on how to solve quadratic equations without linear coefficients will prove helpful. And yeah.